I had some pokes when our post players were playing good defense, and coaching staff.
The drama surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever has reached a boiling point, and this time, it isn't just about her highlight reel threes or sold-out arenas. It's about survival. It's about a league wrestling with its own identity, and it's about one teammate, Sophie Cunningham, finally stepping into the storm to say what millions of fans have been shouting for months. Enough is enough. The conversation started quietly, in whispers on social media, in the frustrated tweets of fans who couldn't believe what they were seeing on the court. Caitlin Clark, the player who has brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA, the rookie whose games consistently outdraw NBA broadcasts, has been the target of physicality, hostility, and outright jealousy since the moment she stepped into the league. She wasn't just being guarded, she was being hunted. And while fans could see it, while commentators danced around it, no one inside the league dared to truly speak up until now. Sophie Cunningham has been in the WNBA long enough to understand how the game works. She's not a rookie, she's not naive, and she's not afraid. When she took to her podcast and finally said what everyone had been thinking, the sports world stopped to listen. Her voice cut through the noise, not because she's the loudest player in the league, but because she's the first to speak the truth from the inside.
I had a wide open one. And then made another couple tough ones. And even in the second half, I felt like...
And that truth was as simple as it was damning. Caitlin Clark is being targeted, and the league is letting it happen. Cunningham's words weren't polite. They weren't sanitized PR statements. They were raw, unfiltered frustration from a veteran who's watched the league profit off Clark's star power while leaving her unprotected on the court. "I just think people are jealous of this new little wave," she said. They are. And I just hate that, because this is what we've always wanted as a league. Who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them. You are literally making money from the viewership. Why bully the person who has a huge role in growing your sport? She's not wrong. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. Every metric proves it. Ticket sales, jersey sales, television ratings, everything the WNBA has spent decades chasing has finally arrived, and it's arrived because of her. Clark is the most significant draw in women's basketball since the league's inception. She's not just a star, she's a phenomenon. And yet, instead of celebrating her, too many players, referees, and even league officials have stood by as she's been shoved, hacked, tripped, and taunted. Sophie didn't stop there. Her voice trembled with a mix of disbelief and anger as she called out the hypocrisy, and the blind eyes turned to the abuse.
It's just kind of getting your flow back, right? Getting your rhythm, getting your chemistry, especially with the team that you haven't really played with much.
It literally pisses me off when people are like, "She's not the face of the league." Who would be? What? She asked, the rhetorical question hanging in the air like a challenge no one could answer. Silence, both in the locker rooms and from league leadership, has been deafening. No fines for the cheap shots, no technicals for the shoulder checks that leave Clark on the floor, no league-wide acknowledgement of the blatant targeting. For far too long, the bullying has gone unchecked. But Sophie Cunningham has had enough. This isn't coming from a casual observer or a talking head trying to stir the pot. Cunningham has lived it from both sides. Back when she was with the Phoenix Mercury, she heard the locker room chatter, she saw the game plans. And yes, she admits now, they involved Caitlin Clark. Opponents weren't just preparing to defend her, they were plotting to rough her up, to send a message, to show her what the W really is. And at first, Sophie thought that was just part of the game. Every rookie gets tested, every fresh face gets bumped around. But what she's witnessed since joining Clark on the Fever has opened her eyes. This isn't normal. This isn't just tough defense. This is a coordinated campaign to humble, hurt, and harass the league's biggest star. And the more she sees, the more she can't stay quiet. "I've been on her team now," she said. "I see it." And I'm like, what are people doing? It's just too much. And if I'm saying it's too much, you know it's bad. Too much. Those two words are a gut punch because they come from someone who has been on the delivering side before. Cunningham isn't soft. She's built her career on grit, hustle, and an edge that sometimes toes the line.
Again, I think it was defensively. I think they killed us in every quarter except the second quarter, and that's when we really picked up our defense.
If she's saying the targeting of Clark has gone beyond the unspoken code of competition, then you know this is something else entirely. The numbers back her up. In just her second year, Caitlin Clark has absorbed more physical punishment than almost anyone in the league. Nearly 20% of all flagrant fouls last season were committed against her. She's already missed 14 games due to 3 separate injuries, a quad strain, and groin strains on both sides after never missing a single game in 4 full seasons at Iowa. She even had to sit out the Commissioner's Cup final and her hometown All-Star game. These aren't freak accidents. This is the accumulation of unchecked abuse. And it's not just opponents. The referees have been complicit, whether through incompetence or cowardice. Fans have watched in disbelief as obvious hard fouls get waved off, as Clark gets shoved to the ground with no whistle, as other stars in the league receive protection she's never afforded. Even her own brother briefly took to social media to call out the officials before deleting his post. But the message was clear. The Clark family sees it too. Sophie Cunningham, meanwhile, is done hiding her frustration. She's not just talking about it, she's acting on it. She's become Clark's enforcer on the court, willing to take the hits, throw the elbows, and draw the technicals if that's what it takes to keep her teammates safe. In one now iconic moment, Sophie laid a hard foul that sparked a near melee, sending a message to every jealous veteran and every lazy referee. If you mess with Caitlin, you deal with me. Fans went wild. Her TikTok follower count exploded by over 600,000 in just 2 days. Her jersey sold out. She went from a solid role player to a folk hero overnight. The fans have given her a new title, the Enforcer, and she's embraced it. Cunningham's rise isn't just a social media story, it's a cultural moment for the WNBA. While the league leadership continues to walk a tightrope between appeasing jealous veterans and capitalizing on Clark's unprecedented draw, Sophie has made her choice. She understands what too many in the league refuse to admit. Protecting Caitlin Clark isn't just about fairness, it's about survival. The WNBA finally has its golden goose.
Caitlin Clark reminded everybody who she is in the Fever win over the Wings in what was a blowout.
Clark's rookie trading card sold for $660,000. More than 8 times her current salary. Her games sell out NBA arenas, her jersey is a top seller, and her presence alone can spike television ratings into record territory. She is the bridge to mainstream relevance that the league has craved for decades. And yet, by letting her get battered night after night, the WNBA is lighting a match next to its own future. Sophie Cunningham is the one player brave enough to say it plainly, and she's paying the price. A viral TikTok calling out referees earned her a $500 fine from the league. Her response, pure unbothered sarcasm. "I got fined $500 for this TikTok. I don't know why. This is funny to me," she said. Like, okay, you got it, bud, because there's not more important things to be worried about with our league right now. It was a mic drop moment and fans ate it up. But this story isn't over. The targeting hasn't stopped, the jealousy hasn't cooled, and the officiating, still a disaster. Sophie Cunningham can throw her body in front of the worst of it, but she can't fix a league that seems determined to squander its biggest opportunity. If the WNBA doesn't start protecting Caitlin Clark, it risks losing far more than one player. It risks losing the momentum that she's single-handedly built. It risks alienating the new generation of fans who are tuning in not for petty feuds and ugly hits, but for the brilliance of a player who has already changed the sport forever. Sophie Cunningham has drawn the line. She's chosen courage over silence, team over politics, future over pettiness. And now the ball is in the league's court. Will they keep turning a blind eye, or will they finally step up and protect the superstar who has given them everything they've ever wanted and more? If you agree with Sophie, then comment "Protect Caitlin Clark" down below. And if you're tired of the jealousy, the cheap shots, and the silence, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss the truth about the WNBA's most dramatic story. The future of the league depends on what happens next.